Hello everyone, this is Brandon. Today I will be reviewing a game I played versus a KGS Wanda. I am black. And here I play one of my favorite openings. And in this situation, this move is kind of negating white's influence. And at the same time, it gives white a choice. And I like to give my opponent choices. To either play cross Useki inside or to do this one, parallel opening. This time, my opponent chose to play the cross Useki and played in a more influential way, trying to negate this stone. Although in a cross Useki, building influence is quite hard, but it is possible. I just invade right away. It's also perfectly fine to play in this corner, but I prefer to do this one because most of the Joseki here for white are a bit soft on the corner. For example, white plays this in the game, and I just Tanuki, and that's because if white does this one, I can just easily overconcentrate white and extend on the side, which this has a good relationship, I feel. Or if white attaches here, like in the game, black can still live in the corner. But I chose to just extend from my Shimari. And white does not really have a good move here to capture this one stone. Pretty much no matter what he plays, there is still Aji there that I can take advantage of. Instead, white chose to approach from this side and try to build the bottom side, which this just does not feel that good to me because there's invasion here and I can still live in the corner, and there is some weakness in this area, so lots of weaknesses here for white. I probably would prefer to attach in the corner, and if we play this basic Joseki, the shape on this side seems a bit better, but it still has the same issues as the other one where black can still live here in the corner. But that's about the only thing black has. If he invades here, it makes it easier for white to take the corner or to attack the invading stone. So this feels slightly better for white, I feel, though I still prefer black in this opening. But he did this one, and so I approached the top side because the left side is not very valuable. It's a low value area because this is low, so I can't really build anything there. While on this side, I have all these high stones, so it's easy to build. If I was white, I would just back off. Then I have two things I can do. I can do this one, which I don't like, because white has this point here, and then there's some weaknesses both here and in the corner. I would prefer to attach in the corner here. For similar reasons for why I preferred it for white in the bottom corner, the bottom left. If they play the same basic Joseki here, again, I'm building. And if white were to invade, let's say here, I get a good extension here, being nice and strong, and he doesn't have a good extension on this side. And it's pretty much the same no matter where white plays. Like if white does this one, you just pincer. And there's really not, like white is just forced to do this. And it just does not feel good for white. So I would definitely prefer this. But in the game, white pincered. And I chose to jump out. And my reasoning for this is, this 3-3 invasion is very bad for black. So we play this basic Joseki. You can see that I'm very low on this side, and it's also Gote. Black would like to play this move, but since it's white's turn, white will play here. And it feels very, very small for black to do this. There is still weakness in the corner, and this move doesn't feel to do anything. And any potential that I have in the center is gone. So I chose to jump out. And I could do this Joseki, which I do like this Joseki, but in this situation, I don't quite like it. It feels like white gets a little bit more, and it's hard to build because the R10 stone is just too close. So if I try to do this and white does this, not only does it feel like I don't make that much and all these stones are wasted, the corner is still open. But defending it is not Sente. So it just does not feel good. It feels like black is very over-concentrated here. So I chose to counter pincer and try to build this area instead. And at the same time, I'm also giving myself more potential in the center. Because white needs to run out, I can put pressure on it, and it makes it very hard for white to tanuki and reduce my center. So I should be able to build it just a little bit more. I would recommend jumping out here. I would also have to jump. And white probably turns here, and black goes here. White does have this Tsuji here to get some more shape, but the corner is still quite weak, and this is not quite alive, but it is good shape. But I definitely prefer black, which is why I preferred the backing off here instead of the pincer. But in the game, he chose to attach here, which makes it even harder for him. Because I'm happy to pull up here and take a little bit more profit in this area. And now, if we were to do the same, he no longer has this move, which means he is heavier and much weaker, and does not really have a good move, and the corner is still kind of weak. So he's forced to attach in this corner. I played the Hane to make it a little bit harder for him to connect. And then I take the outside. And he can connect here, but it's in a very bad way. Because I do die here, but I get all these forcing moves to take the outside in Sente with almost no weakness. And I have Sente to build the outside. Now, because this area is full of high stones and does have quite a bit of influence, I can't try too hard to build. So I played a more conservative way and just tried to enclose this area. And white was a bit greedy and just attached right away. And I would prefer to do this one. To me, this seems like a good move. I would probably just take my points. And white reduces black and has some influence now to try and build some points here. And now has a use for all these high stones. But instead he invaded. And my goal here is not to kill him, but to just take my points in the corner and try to keep him surrounded. And if he dies, he dies. But that's not my first goal. He goes here, so again, I just try to surround. It feels like he needs to do this, and he has quite a few more liberties here. But in the game, he played here, which lets me cut, which he has less liberties now, but so does black. And I do have some weakness on the outside. He goes here to try and live, and I try to put some pressure on his group. And the best response for white, I think, is to cut here. And this will turn into a trade that is better for me. And he probably has to take here. But he chose to do this one first, and then block here. I could go here, and it's probably just dead. But I don't like to kill things. So I just pushed here for some better endgame. And then just protected. Then he pushed through to live, and then I defended in the center. And then he played here. And this is Gote for him. This corner is not big enough. There's much bigger moves at this point. So I Tanuki to the corner. He extends, and then I just live. He tries to defend this cutting point in a more Sente way, and I just defend. He now takes the corner, but it's Gote, and I take this opportunity to play this one. If I were to play something more like this move, it just makes it easy for white. He just caps and gets a wall here surrounding or sort of negating my influence. And it'd probably be Sente for him because I'm forced to try and live, which I'm not 100% sure I could even do that. And then he would have Sente to reduce my center some more. So I chose this attach, which I really like in this situation. And for white, I would recommend this move because it helps reduce the center. And the best follow-up I can think of would be something like this, which white just gets squeezed a little bit and moves in the corner, and then I can take advantage of the weakness here. This is not good for white, but it feels like it gives him the best chance, but it's still difficult. In the game, it turned out much better for me to where white doesn't even have a chance. So here he honeyed under, which made it quite easy for me, and then he attached here, which I think this would be the better connection, but I guess he wanted to try and kill me. So I just push out, and then he attaches in the corner to try and live. I make a ko, but he doesn't really have any ko threats here. So he plays up there, and I could do this one, which is quite big, but then white does this. This group is much stronger, still has some weakness, and then it's also reducing the center. And I didn't quite like that. So I chose to Atari here instead. He takes, and then I'm happy to capture white. I am very strong here, and it has lots of influence, and I'm just building my center more. And then this is still not over. He tries to kill the corner, but I take, and he does not have any co-threats. So he's forced to go here. I just connect. He connects. And if I were to try and do something like this, he would just get this away and maybe do this Atari. The game gets a little bit complicated, and that's also reducing my center some more. I chose to be a bit more aggressive, which is also looking at the center and at the same time putting pressure on these stones. He chose to attach. I just hane, and he plays here. And if you were to try and do this, again, I'd be building the center, and he's not alive yet. And here, I can probably do the same. His group is quite weak, but I was happy to simplify the game and offer to trade. He accepted the trade, but it just seemed so much better for me because, again, I have all this influence facing the center. And I got a lot of profit here by capturing these stones, and my corner is now 100% safe. He tries to build the side, and I try to take the center. He jumps in, trying to reduce my center. But he has a weakness here, so I try to take advantage of it. He pokes through here, trying to aim at this weakness here, but at this point in time, it doesn't quite work. If he goes here and tries to do something like this, I'm happy to just take the center. And there's really not much else. Like he can maybe do this, but again, I'm happy to just take the center. So he plays this one, trying to be more forceful and reducing the center. And here I go for a squeeze, and it works out quite well. And I play the nose to Suji, and I somehow managed to get Sente here. Then I have two options. This one is quite big, but I played this one, aiming at the weakness in his shape here, and he played here. At this point, I should probably be pushing through here to kill these stones, but instead I chose to just Hane here. He goes here to protect the cutting points. I extend, he has to defend, then I Hane. And then he just connects here. And this is the only connection. If he does this one, I either cut him off here or to Ko. So he must defend this way. And at this point, I should probably be doing something like this. And it's quite big, but I played a bit slack and just fixed any weakness I could have in this corner. Which there is some weakness, but it doesn't quite work right away. If white plays here, I just go here. And then there is a Ko here, but at the moment it doesn't work because he doesn't have enough liberty, or I have too many liberties. So I would just throw in here, and I go here. And it's alive because white can't connect here. But if he took my liberties away and then did this, it would work. But obviously I would defend by then. So I just defend. He plays some endgame. And I won't talk too much about it, because like I said, endgame is not one of my strong points. And the next video will be coming out next Sunday. And we will try to release a new video every Sunday. I would like to thank all the people that commentated on the last video. They're always helpful. And if you have any questions about this game or any tips to improve it, just leave a comment and I will read it. And I think that's about it. And at the end, I won by 9.5 points. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.